This is the third language point of Unit 8, which is on adverbs. We're going through the theory for once, and then we go to the sample sentences here, how to apply the adverbs in our sentences. Now, an adverb is usually made by adding ly to the adjective. So interesting, interestingly, interesting is adjective, interestingly is adverb. For example, let me write it here. Number one, the book is interesting. In here, it is an adjective, right? Because the interesting here talks about the book. So it modifies the book, not modify the is. No, this is adjective. Adjective modifies the noun. You can also put the adjective like it is an interesting book. Like this, it is also adjective, right? Because this interesting here modifies the book. So again, adjective modifies a noun. The noun can be next to it or can be separated by to be. Okay. But if you want to use interesting as an adverb, you have to say interestingly. For example, he decorates what? Decorates the room. Yes, now here you say interestingly. Why? Because interestingly does not modify the noun room, but it modifies the verb. Okay, so in here you say interestingly. Here you say interesting. The adverb here modifies verb, not modifies noun. All right, you still remember, I think. So then some adverbs are irregular. Irregular means not regular, not with li all the time, but good, the adjective good becomes well. Okay, do you feel well? Feel here is the verb and then well is the adverb. Hard, the adverb is hard as well. Natasha works hard. You don't say hardly, no. So at least you have good and well, and then hard and hard. In here, the news is good because good is adjective modifying the news. The newspaper covers the news well. Well here modifies adverb, verb covers. Good here modifies the news. All right. The exam is hard. Hard modifies the exam. So hard here is what? Adjective. Yeah. We study hard. Hard here modifies the verb study. And here you don't say hardly because the meaning of hardly is almost never. So he studies hardly. We study hardly means we almost never study. So it's different. Hardly means not. Yeah. Almost never. All right. So some adjectives look like adverbs because they end in ly, but they are not. For example, silly. Silly is adjective. Lovely, adjective. Lively is adjective. All right, so now these are some of the functions of adverbs. Adverbs of manner. Manner means it talks about or it modifies the verb. How something is done. So describe how something happens, how something is done. They modify the verb. They usually come after the verb. The news spread quickly. How does the news spread? The news spread quickly around the office. Quickly here is adverb modifying spread. He held the baby gently. Gently here is adverb modifies held. Not he held the baby gently. No, gently. All right, so this is adverbs of manner explaining how something happens or how something is done. Number 2, adverbs of frequency or probability. Frequency is how often something is done, how often something happens, or probability. Describe how often something happens or how probable it is, how probable it is. They usually come before the main verb. Newspaper, rarely. Report, this one is how often. Newspaper report. We could possibly catch the last train. Possibly means the probability, how possible something happens. Okay. And then adverbs of degree. Degree means how high, how low. Modify an adjective or a verb. They make it weaker or stronger. It was totally unexpected. He is really late. Really modifies the adjective. Totally and really. Absolutely loves her job. Absolutely means totally as well, actually. Okay, now let's take a look at the sentence here. He is a fast learner. Fast here is adjective, right? Fast is adjective. He learns fast. This is an adverb. So fast, hard, good, they have irregular forms of adverb. The internet is quick. Quick is adjective. The news spreads quickly. Quickly is adverb. You see here, quick modifies the internet, quickly modifies spreads. The internet is usually reliable. Reliable is adjective. Usually is how often something is, how often something happens. It rarely disappoints the users. Rarely here is adverb. Okay, these adverbs of frequency. Adverb of frequency. It hardly ever fails. Hardly ever, also almost never. Yeah, hardly. This is adverb of frequency. The room's stuffy. I can hardly breathe. Hardly here is not. I can, positive, yeah. I can, not I cannot, because the not is here already. So I can hardly breathe means it is difficult for me to breathe because the room is stuffy. Stuffy means, yeah, you cannot breathe easily. Stuffy, hot, and there's no air inside, no air flowing in the room, so you feel it's stuffy. Number 6, the trip was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely is, what kind of adverb is it? Intensifier, yeah? This one. Degree. Intensifier. The view was totally fabulous. Here is the adverb modifying fabulous means very beautiful. You say fabulous. My grandma's food is outwardly scrumptious. Outwardly means from out of the word, not from this word, but from another planet. Scrumptious is very delicious. Outwardly scrumptious. So these are adverbs of degree. Yeah. And there is one more here, but I cannot put it here because it is too long. So adverb can also be put in the front. Surely, comma, it gives you a nuance. It gives you a certain atmosphere. Surely the pandemic will be over in the front like this. It's okay. Sadly, we haven't found a vaccine yet. Obviously means certainly or apparently. People cannot stay at home forever. All right, so these are the positions of adverb and the function of adverbs. You can uh, check with these notes when you are not clear with this part of the language point. I'm going to give you some of these as your exercise. Okay, so that's adverb, and let's move on to the next one. This is past unreal condition. Past and unreal. So it happened in the past and it was unreal. Use this form to talk hypothetically about past situations. So your imagination about the past, not about the present, but your imagination about the past. To imagine different consequences. So the rules is if clause, yeah, if plus subject plus past perfect. The main clause, subject plus would have, and then past participle. Here, if there hadn't been so much traffic on the highway, so here after if is past perfect. If there hadn't been, not if there would have been. Yeah. After if is past perfect. If there hadn't been so much traffic on the highway, I would have gotten to the meeting on time. So I would have gotten here is would plus perfect. This is the perfect. This is the would past perfect. And it is imaginary. It is contrary to past fact. It is different from the real happening in the past. To indicate possibility rather than certainty, use might. So you don't always have to use would. You can also use might if you are not certain. Example, if she had studied harder, past perfect after if, she might have passed the test. The might here is possible, but it is less certain than would. Might, maybe, might, but might is in the past. So might plus perfect. Okay. These unreal past situations have unreal past results. If I had studied art, I would have been happier here. The reality is I did not study, past tense, yeah, I did not, the reality. So the reality is negative. I did not study. I would have been happier means I was not happy. So the reality is negative. The if clause is positive. The reality is negative. The if clause is positive. The reality is positive. The if clause is negative. Like this. If she hadn't left work early, it means she left work early. But if she hadn't left work early, she might have finished the report. She might have finished the report means she did not finish the report, but she the if clause is positive. And then here is the question form. Would you have been happier if you had stayed at home? The if is here, so the past perfect is here. On the other side, modal plus perfect. All right, let's go to our sentences here. I did not prepare well. This is the reality. The reality is in past tense and it is negative. I did not prepare well. I did not pass the exam. So this is the reality. All right, reality. And your if clause, if I had prepared, this is the reality is negative. Your if clause is positive. I had prepared in past perfect. Yeah. I would have passed the exam. I did not pass the exam, but you know, this is the if clause. The reality is negative. The if clause is positive, like this. All right, you remember? One more. Yeah. I didn't finish my report. This is negative. My boss reprimanded me. Reprimand means give me a negative feedback or scolded me or angry, angry with me. So this is a negative past tense negative. Reprimand is positive, past tense positive. So if I had finished, this one is if, but in positive, yeah, because the fact is negative. My boss would not have reprimanded me. This is the if clause is in negative form, like this. So what about number 3? I studied at PUC. Mr. Petra taught me. So we say if, yeah, I, yes, had not, and then verb 3, studied at PUC. Mr. Petra would yet not have. Okay, yeah. Number 4, I ate breakfast. I was not hungry. Ate breakfast is positive, right? So if I had not, verb 3, eaten breakfast, I, negative becomes positive, would have, was, what is the verb 3? Been hungry. Okay, so positive becomes negative, negative becomes positive in the if clause. Yeah, the reality is here, the reality, and the if clause is. Number 5, he didn't come to class. Now I think you can do it very easily. Yeah, he didn't come to class if he, yes, had come to class, if he had come to class, he did not become positive, would have understood, yes, the lesson. All right. So that is a past unreal conditional. Previously, you talked about past unreal, present unreal conditional. So this is conditional type 3, but you also study conditional type 2 as well in this unit. Right, I will also give you this as your exercise later on. Okay, here we have one more here. I know this is a bit long, so you just go to the part that you are not sure with. Okay. Now this next one is reported speech in statements. Reported speech in statement. When reporting what someone said, the verbs often shift into the past because what the person said is in the past. For example, the direct speech, someone says, yeah, I will go tomorrow. I will go tomorrow. This is someone says. You have the quotation mark here. Quotation mark. Quotation marks. So this is the quotation mark indicating that this is a direct speech. So in the reported speech, you report what he said. He said he would go the next day. So tomorrow becomes the next day. Yeah. Will becomes would. Tomorrow becomes the next day. All right. Simple present tense becomes simple past tense. I live in Sao Paulo. Live, present simple, becomes simple past. She said she lived in Sao Paulo. So here, will becomes would. Tomorrow becomes next day. The next day. Live becomes lived. Past tense. Present continuous becomes past continuous. I am working for a fashion company. He said he was working for a fashion company. Am working, present continuous, was working, past continuous. So you move one tense back. Next one, present perfect or simple past tense becomes past perfect. Yeah, two possibilities, present perfect, past perfect. Simple past tense become past perfect. I have been here for 3 months. She told me she had been there for 3 months. Here becomes there. Present perfect. Have been becomes had been. Right. Time references can also change in reported speech. Call me later today or tomorrow. Today or tomorrow. She told me to call her later that day. Today becomes that day. Tomorrow becomes the next day or the day after. Pronouns also change in reported speech. I will see you soon. He said, I here is he. Yeah? I will see you soon. This is the direct speech. He said, he will becomes would see you us soon, or me soon, or him soon. Him soon. You need to imagine. If what the person said is still true, keep the present tense. I still love you. He said he still loves me. So here, present simple, because it is still true. Look at the verb patterns for say, tell, ask. Say cannot be followed by a person. For example, she said it was late. You cannot say she said me. No. But if you say told, you cannot say he told that I was special. No. He told what? He told who? So you need the object. He told me, he told him, he told them that. Not he told I was special. No. You need an object. Not he told that. All right. He told me to lock the door. Right. This is the examples, yeah? I will visit you. What is your reported speech? Will becomes would, yes. She said she would visit. Who is you? I will visit you. She said she would visit, yes, me. Because the you here is the person who's listening to her when she was saying that. My mother cooks for my family. He said, whose mother is it? His mother. He said his mother cooked for his family. Of course, if it is still true, you can still use the present simple here. But if it is not true now, then use past tense. My father is reading a newspaper now. She told me that her father, yes, was reading, good, was reading a newspaper. A news. Now becomes what? Yes, at that time, or maybe then. You can also use then. Uh, yes, okay, that's good. At that time sounds good. Yeah. Now, number 4, we have submitted the assignment. Have submitted is present perfect, so you change. The student said they, yes, past perfect, had submitted. Had submitted the assignment. Had submitted. Here, yeah. From present perfect becomes past perfect. It will rain tomorrow. He predicted that it, yes, would rain tomorrow becomes the next day. PUC is still open. Oh, this is true, still true. My teacher said that PUC is still open. This is still true. All right, so if something is not true, of course, you use the past tense there, and if it is still true, you can still use the present simple. As you can see in here, still true. I still love you. He said he still loves me. Woohoo! This is now reported speech in question. Reported speech in question. Okay. In reported questions, the word order is the same as in affirmative statement. What time is it? This is the direct speech. He asked me what time it was. What time it was. Yeah. So not what time was it, no, but what time it was. This is special. Yeah. Please remember this. The auxiliary verb do, does, did is not used. What do you want? He asked me what he wanted. No, this one is after what, yeah, and then the sentence, I wanted. After what time, then the sentence, it was. In yes, no question, ask is followed by if or whether. She asked me if or whether I knew the way. Let's take a look at here. You will do it easily. What is your name? He asked me what, and then the sentence. What? Yeah, my name was. He asked me what my name was. But this is not a question. Yeah? This is not a question. This is just reported question. So you don't put question mark, full stop. He asked me what my name was, full stop, not question. Where do you live? The policeman asked him. uh, where? Yeah, and then the sentence, where he, yeah, where he lived. Not the question mark, full stop. This is not a sentence. Number 3, do you know Mr. Ritti? He asked me. This is yes, no question, right? This one, yes, no question. He asked me if or whether I, sentence, I, past tense, yeah? I knew Mr. Ritti. It is. Can you swim? She asked him if or whether he, uh, I, no, I, yeah, could swim. Not a question mark. This is reported speech in questions, or they say reported question. All right, so that's the end of review unit 8 until 9.2. 9.2. Please go to the parts that you're a bit confused, and then you can do the exercise here once again so that you can follow my explanation step by step, and then you submit to me. Don't forget to save in PDF because it is quite a big file, 3 pages, and plus these images. All right, so looking forward to your assignment. Take care and good luck.